Okay, so what we're going to be working on today is it's basically the same exact thing as yesterday, but we're going to be showing when f of x is equal to g of x, and that means when is the y values equal to each other. So I'm not looking for the y values, I'm trying to find what are my x values, because I want to know what are my x values so that my y values are actually equal to each other. So basically it's the same thing as yesterday. So we're going to take f of x and g of x and set them equal to each other. So I have 1x plus 6, 1 over 6, sorry, is equal to 1/2. All right, so we're looking for the LCD. So just take a look at the numbers first. All right, I have a 6 and a 2. So my LCD would be 6. I'm going to give each numerator a 6. That'll take care of the 2. And then I need to get rid of the x. So I'm going to multiply everything by x. So now we will reduce. So x and x reduce. So I'm left with 6 times 1 is 6. 6 and 6 reduce. So I'm left with plus x equals 2 and 6 reduced to 1 and 3. So I'm left with 3x. So I'm going to minus x. I get 6 is equal to 3x. Divide by 3. X is equal to 2. And of course, since we're dealing with fractions, always just make sure that when you plug in your x value, which is x is equal to 2, into your original, which would be right up here, that you don't get anything that's undefined. And no, I get 1 over 2. I have a defined fraction. All right, so let's try number 2 over here. So I have f of x is 1/2 plus 5 over x minus 2, and that equals g of x, which is equal to 3. So I have, in the numerator, I have a 2 and an x minus 2. Remember that 2 is attached to the x. So I'm going to multiply everything by x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2. And I'm going to multiply, that'll take care of the x minus 2. But this x minus, this 2 here with the x minus 2 does not take care of that 2. So we have to give everything a 2. All right, so let's see here. The 2 is reduced, so I'm left with 1 times x minus 2. X minus 2 and x minus 2 reduce, so I'm left with 2 times 5 equals, and then I have, nothing reduces here at the end, so I have this 2 times 3, which is 6 times x minus 2. So I have x minus 2 plus 10, which is x plus 8, equals, distribute the 6, 6x minus 12. Okay, so I'm going to minus x. 8 is equal to 5x minus 12. Add 12. 5x is equal to 20. So divide both sides by 5. I get x is equal to 4. And again, just check to make sure that you don't get anything that's undefined with our fraction up here. When I plug in x is equal to 4. So when I plug in 4 minus 2, I get 2. So that is a good fraction. All right, so let's try number 3. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking f of x and equaling it to g of x. So I have x over x minus 2 minus 8 over x plus 3. And notice I wrote down a minus in here, so just be careful. We'll have to distribute that negative 8 here, okay? Equals 10 over, and see this here, I'm going to factor that. So I don't have to, mess up my workspace over here. So this x squared plus x minus 6 factors. So I multiply the first times the last. I get 6x squared, negative 6x squared. So what multiplies to 6 minuses to a 1? That would be positive 3x and negative 2x. And bring down the 6, bring down the x squared, factor by grouping. So I have x times x plus 3. And take out the negative 2 times x plus 3. And I have x minus 2 and x plus 3. And that usually happens in our rational equations that if you have a trinomial, they usually will factor and become these guys over here. They usually are your factors, at least one of them anyway. All right, so now let's see what we need here. This doesn't factor and that doesn't factor. So I need to multiply all my numerators by an x minus 2. So multiplying by x minus 2, that takes care of this guy and this guy. So now I need to get rid of the x minus 3. So you're going to give everyone an x plus 3, sorry. All right, now let's reduce. So x minus 2 and x minus 2 reduce. So be careful here. We're left with x times x plus 3. X plus 3 and x plus 3 reduce. Be careful, this is negative 8 times x minus 2 equals, this all reduces with that, so I'm left with 10. So we'll distribute, we get x squared plus 3x minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 10. Combine like terms, x squared minus 5x plus 16 equals 10, minus 10. X squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, so now we're going to factor. So I'm going to multiply the first times last. I get positive 6x squared. So what multiplies to 6 adds to 5 is, and I want negative 5, so that's negative 3x and negative 2x. Bring down the 6, bring down the x squared. We're going to factor by grouping. So I group the first two, group the last two. I get x times x minus 3. Factor out the negative 2 times x minus 3. And we get x minus 2 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. T-chart, we get x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 2. Now you do have to check, make sure that you don't get anything that's undefined. All right, so when I plug in, let's try the 3 first. I have 3 plus 3 is 6, that's good. 3 minus 2 is 1, so that's good. And I know it'll work out here because these guys are my factors of this. So if 3 works for these two guys, it'll work for this. So I know that'll work. All right, now we're going to try the 2, see if 2 works. All right, when I plug in 2 here, I have 2 plus 3 is 5, that's good. And when I plug in 2 here, I have 2 minus 2 is 0. That does not work, that's undefined, so I have to cross off the 2. So my solution is just 3. Okay, so that's it. So we'll practice more tomorrow in class. Have a good night.